Hello and welcome back. It is time once again to try to fix something. Today on the workbench I got a PS4 Pro that is supposed to be rather dead. So let's put some power on this thing. Let's see how dead it is. Alright, eject. Nothing. Power. Nothing. I'll try to put a disc in. Nothing. So it sure acts like there's no standby power whatsoever. So what are we thinking? Power supply or main board? I don't know. Kind of hoping I've got a spare supply for this, and I'm not sure. Let me get these covers off, which it does seem to have been open. The security tape is missing from the screws there. So I'm not sure what we're going to find inside. Outside's in great shape though, so hopefully she's not totally destroyed. I'm wondering, what are the chances we've got like a ripped power supply connector or something like that. Let's get into it and see what it is. Okay, I've been fighting with this thing for 2 or 3 minutes, and sure enough, the 4-pin connector is ripped off the board. And I had so much trouble getting this thing off. I thought I'd left a screw in from the bottom. I had taken out, I thought, the right ones, but it's been a while since I took a Pro apart, so maybe I was on the wrong ones. But no, the issue was these connectors, these blades were pushed together and wedged up inside this thing. So, yeah, somebody tried to take their PS4 apart and clean it and destroyed it. That's got to be a really sad day for somebody, for an end user to do that. I've got another Pro coming in right now with the exact same issue. I fixed these before. I don't think I've ever done a video on it, so maybe we'll do one on this one. But luckily the connector is there. That's the tough part. If that connector is gone, it's kind of hard to come up with one. Although I have been known to take the connector out of the power supply and bend the legs around and make that work. So that works too. But yeah, we ripped up a few pads there. So a little trace repair on this one. I think I see enough to get a hold of down there to reattach it though. Okay. So I can't even put another supply in it to test it right now. Main board's got to come out. We got to do some trace repair and put that connector back on. Well, I have the main board out of the chassis, and I was just making myself a note as to the orientation of this connector. Of course, this thing was sitting like this, so you can kind of tell how it was on the board. I got to get it turned the right way. But I put a mark on the connector and a mark on the circuit board down there. So if I line those up, I should be in the right orientation. Otherwise, you got a 50-50 shot at it. But just an extra note for my own. So otherwise, I got to go online and look up a picture of this board to make sure I get it right. So save myself some time. We are inside at the workbench, and we are going to switch to the microscope view and probably stay there the entire time for this video. So this is what we're working with. Obviously all the pads are ripped, but the ground trace is still there. I'm thinking about trying to salvage this ground trace and thinking about trying to get this fuzz off of my tweezers here, because it looks huge under the microscope here. Let's try this again. A bit better. This pad here, or this trace I should say, I'd like to lay that back down and maybe reconnect it over here. It's stretched, you can tell. See, it's a little tad too long. That copper stretched a little. Maybe we can take our grinding pin and make us a little anchor point right over here. We are back out in the garage, getting ready to put this PlayStation 4 back together and test it. I've got the motherboard in there, hard drive's in it. You can see our little repair down in there, and I'm not sure if I can do this with one hand or not, because this cable on these Pros is like really short, which is why they get ripped so often, I believe, too. Alright, now, can we do this without ripping it? Alright, are we down all the way? Yes, I think we are. Turn it around carefully. We'll line her up. And I'm not sure about those 12-volt terminals because they were bent. I straightened them, but I'm not sure if we're damaged up inside the supply or not. That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. Doesn't look right. All right, let me use both hands for this. Give me a second. Got it. All right. All right. Moment of truth. Maybe I can move this a little bit. Monitor's on. Do we have standby power? Does eject work? It does. Do we have power on? We get a blue light. Fan is spinning. No video yet, but 2 out of 3 is not bad. Okay, she's rebooting, looks like. Fan stopped. It's probably going to... Okay, don't you hate when your air compressor kicks on? Alright, I think we're about to get video. I saw it say 480p for a moment. We have a white light. Well, that's a good sign. We really don't know why this thing was originally taken apart. I suspect it was just to clean it and maybe change the thermal paste. Still no video. Alright, we're back out in the garage. I've put the board back in the chassis. What I did is I took it inside and I first took a look at the port under the microscope, and it looked good. It looked to be the original port. Didn't look like anybody had messed with it. No one had tried to change it, and it didn't look damaged. So I looked at it with a breakout board, checked every contact. It all checked out good. I looked down inside the HDMI connector with the microscope, and that looked good. Other than it looked a little dirty. There were no broken pins, nothing been out of shape. So I cleaned it with some alcohol and some cotton off of a swab, and then used some deoxit afterwards on the pins of the connector, because it just looked like it had a film on of some kind. Maybe I'm just wishing that that's the only problem. The encoder did not check shorted, did not appear to be bad. Everything looked great. So we're going to give this a try before we go through the trouble of changing the HDMI encoder or the port. So we gave it a good cleaning. Let's see what happens now. Monitor is on. Hard drive is in there. Power on. She's trying, but she was trying before and didn't do it. You know, I may have to go into safe mode and see what resolution it's set at. I wonder if that's her issue. 1080p, she's trying. It acts like it's just got a bad connection. Alright, we're back out in the garage, and where are we now on this PlayStation Pro, PS4 Pro? I decided to go ahead and change the HDMI encoder IC. Couldn't see anything wrong with it. I mean, everything checked fine as far as I could tell, but maybe I should have gone with the HDMI port first, but the port looked fine. So I just kind of went with my gut there and decided just go ahead and swap out the HDMI encoder. We're back in the chassis, ready to test. So third time, I think it's the third time, is the charm. Let's see what happens, shall we? Alright, we're locked again. A logo, PlayStation logo. Well, so that was the original problem with this console, I take it, was the HDMI encoder IC was kind of dying. It pretty well died. They lost video and they decided to open it up and see if they could fix it, I guess, and rip that power supply connector right off the board. There we are. I think it happens more than we know, but that's it for this one, I think. Got to check out the Blu-ray drive and stuff in it, but I think that's probably was the only problem, was the HDMI encoder IC died, and then they opened it up, tried to fix it, and ripped the power supply connector off. So I hope that was entertaining, educational, interesting, or something. If it was, please just give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next repair. Bye for now.